The narrative tenses have different purposes, and the meaning and the use of these narrative tenses is very simple. You want to talk about something that happened in the past. We use narrative tenses to talk about the past. We can use them to tell a story or to describe past events, including personal anecdotes. For example, it says, when I lived on the island, I enjoyed walking on the beach in the early morning with Bonnie, my best friend, and my dog. Britain declared war on Germany on September 3rd, 1939, after Germany had attacked Poland 2 days earlier. Britain had been trying to negotiate a peaceful settlement. So, there are different tenses for this topic. I am going to describe the topics that we are going to study. There are several tenses in the past, and here they are. The four narrative tenses are the past simple, the past continuous, the past perfect, and past perfect continuous. And one or more of these can be used in a sentence. For example, we were walking as usual one day, when all of a sudden Bonnie shut off and started to bark furiously. I saw a man sleeping face down on the sand. Bonnie continued to bark, but the man didn't wake up. He wasn't sleeping. He was dead. It was clear that the storm had washed up the body. So, one of the uses is for the simple past. We can use the past simple for actions that started and finished in the past. For example, a series of events in someone's life. For example, Nelson Mandela was born in 1918. He became the first black president of South Africa. He spent 27 years in prison in his battle against the system of apartheid. The past simple is often used in stories and dialogues too. For example, when Bobby went down for breakfast, Matt looked up. Did you hear the storm last night? Bob didn't answer. Your brother went out last night. He didn't come back. Do you know where he went? Bobby's heart sank. She knew exactly where Dan had gone. Then we have past continuous. We use the past continuous for background information and to describe a scene or situation that continued for some time. For example, at 6 o'clock that evening, Dan was still missing. Bobby was feeling worried. Bonnie was barking loudly. Then we have past simple and past continuous. We often use the past simple and past continuous together when one action interrupts the other. For example, I was strolling along the beach one day when suddenly Bunny ran off. It was still raining when Bobby woke up the next morning. Dan was sitting at the table when she went into the kitchen. Then we talk about the past simple and the past perfect. We can use the past perfect with the past simple together in a sentence to describe an action that happened before another past action. For example, I quickly realized that the storm the previous night had washed up the body. Bobby knew that Dan hadn't wanted to come home, but she also knew that he hadn't had any other option. Then we can talk about the past perfect continuous. We use this tense to describe something that has been happening over a long period of time. For example, I could tell that the body had been lying on the beach for several hours because the man's clothes were dry. Britain had been trying to negotiate a peaceful settlement between Poland and Germany. Finally, you want to pay attention to linking devices, these linking words that join two sentences together. When we tell a story in the past, we often use linking words or phrases to join two or more sentences or clauses. This helps the narrative to flow in a more interesting and natural way. Some linking phrases and words show a sequence of events or actions. For example, Nelson Mandela never gave up on his struggle against apartheid. As the years went by, his fame spread to every corner of the world. In the end, under enormous global pressure, the government had no option but to release him. So, these linking words are important, and here are some examples. Other linking words are first of all, then you say something in the past, then you add something in the past, next, you add something in the past, and finally, you conclude something in the past. So, this is the most important thing. You want to remember how narrative tenses are used and how they can be linked using these and many other linking devices. I'll see you next class. Study hard and I'll see you later.